because it still is. I'm wearing the same spot again. Except for, it's the next day. And my sock twisted. Anyway, yeah, so I left. I had my doctor's appointment. Then Joni had, sorry, it wasn't a doctor's appointment. I do have one today though. Joni ended up going with me, and it was my physical therapy for my hand, and they gave me a couple braces to put on it, and I tried last night, and there isn't a mark anymore, but oh, the Velcro felt like it was digging into me. And so I have to figure something out, because actually what they said was, I was like, I keep moving it, I'm not letting it rest, because that's what the doctor said. She's like, actually it's quite the opposite with tendinitis. She goes, you really need to, you need to let it rest. Okay. It'll barely go over my boobies, but she did a good job. Way to go, Anne. It's like 3 degrees though. Anyway, so I got stuck in. Anyway, so we went to that, and then she had some running around to do. We're still trying to get everything going towards, hold on. My kids know better. I don't let anything get set on the urn. And so I'm guessing that was Xander, because he's the only one that uses the orange peeler. Anyway, and so from there I took her, we went, oh, she needed coffee because she was falling asleep. And so we got some coffee, and then we went to Hobby Lobby, and we're planning for her daughter's baby shower. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. And so we were getting things, and I was giving her ideas, and then we ended up with a lot more stuff than we expected. But I think we're on the way to getting everything done, which will be nice. And then I think I took her to go get her blood. No, we went and had lunch. Then I went and took her to get her blood drawn. And while we were there, I have to have my doctor fill out a piece of paper for my Social Security. And so I made that appointment, and she's like, I can get you in today. I was like, my daughter has an appointment. If it wasn't for that, then I would. And it's 2 different locations. And so excuse me. Anyway, so I made the appointment, so I've got one today at 12:45. She's got one at 11:30. We're just in 2 different parking lots right next to each other. And she needs to get oil in her car. That's what she forgot to get at Walmart. We hit up the dollar store for stuff to do at the party, anything unicorn based that they might have. What else? Oh, I got this really cool crochet hook. I got her one, and I got me one, and they are so pretty, and I'm hoping maybe this won't hurt my hand too much. But I didn't know exactly what size I needed, and there's like one that I'm always drawn to. I need to go get clothes. So, haha, quick release. I love this tripod. I'm better for the price I paid. And actually, it wasn't too bad. So, I have like one. Okay, Google, turn me on.
Okay, turn me on.
I have one that I always go to. It's like the only one I use. It's the one I like the best too. So, wow, it's cold. I want longer socks this time. So I just grabbed, based on look, to see if maybe that's the one I wanted. So we'll see. If there was a thermometer up here, it's probably in the teens up here. It's that bad. You wouldn't think we had our windows closed the way it feels. Lex's is pretty bad too. Okay, Google, turn me off.
You got it. Turn me off.
Okay. So, yesterday was long because I came home because Lex had a doctor's appointment. And so I had her get out of school early because her appointment, we had to check her in at 3:15. And so, I had her get out. She asked if she could, I was going to have her get out at 2:30. And she said, can I get out? I'm not going to do that right now. Can I get out at 2 before the class starts? So I'm not leaving in the middle of it. I said, yeah, that's fine. And then, my pants are cold. But Garrett must be asleep. I can hear him whistling. Anyway, so Connor stayed home. And I had to leave him here, so when I left, he was asleep. And I left 8:30 in the morning. So at 2:30, I ended up finally at the house. I had to go grab my medication because I was down to 1 pill, which is the one I took last night. And let's see if I remember to get it out of the car today. 10 to 1. Probably not. And so, she came out and I was like, well, we can just go now. And by the time we got there, we were like 5-10 minutes early. And the doctor's offices now require a 3:30 appointment. You have to check in at 3:15. Well, we got called back within a half an hour. It wasn't very long. So the doctor, we probably went in at 3:30. The time of her appointment, which is no big deal. That's fine. Then we didn't see the doctor until 4:45. We have never had to wait so long. We got out of there after 5 o'clock. It was a really long day. So in turn, I called because her doctor will do, even with all 3 kids. Have mom leave the room, we can have a personal discussion, blah blah blah. And so I left the room. I made a phone call. I said, because I did not realize it was 5, I think it was 5:06 at this point. And I felt bad. Joni was sitting in the waiting room. I should have given her the keys. So next time something like that happens, I'll give her the keys. So, I am freezing. So, and then, so I call Anthony. I said, Xander answered. I said, is Daddy home? He said, yes. And I was like, okay, let me talk to him. And so I was like, just make sandwiches and soup. Find something to eat. I said, Lex is still in with the doctor. And they wanted to do a urine test also. And so we were kind of thinking she had a bladder infection, but it came out okay, a little dehydrated. So, speaking of that, hold on. I'm starting to feel a little dehydrated myself. The last 2 days I've been slacking on water. Anyway, so from her doctor's appointment, I told them to go ahead and eat, and I fed Lex. She was getting really hangry, and at one point, she was mouthing off really bad. And so we went from there to the other dollar store across town, and then from there we went to Joann's, and then from Joni went into Joann's. I walked her down to a pizza place, bought her like a $7 pizza, and they love using the table legs to scratch on, which they're so thick that you can't do damage. Hi, buddy. Anyway, and so I bought her a pizza. I said, do you want to sit in the car? I started the car, put her in, locked the doors. No. Locked the doors, and she ate pizza while Joni and I were in the in Joann's, and I had coupons. So she got this really minky, curly, I don't know what it was, I'll have to ask her, fabric, and it was like 15 bucks a yard. So she got a yard of each, like a black and then a cream color. And then I was like, oh, I have coupons. And so the girl actually ran 2 coupons, and it ended up being half off of each one of them. So she ended up spending what she would have in just 1 yard. Oh, sorry. Anyway, and so, did we come home? Well, obviously I eventually had to take her home. Oh, Lex was like, you didn't get me anything to drink. And I so swung through McDonald's, and by that point I was starting to get hungry again, and so Joni and I both got a double McChicken, and then I got soda, which I had a coffee drink and a soda yesterday. That is all I had. No. And so it wasn't no. I'm trying to get the cats to quit going on the table. Anyway, and so I asked them 5 or 6 pickles. Lots of pickles, extra pickles. You know what we got? Packages. This is the stuff for, ouch, my car. Let's see. These boxes are so rigid. Even the air are cold. Okay, so this is the dash camera mount. Ow. But it mounts to my rearview mirror. It hooks to the part that comes off the window. I can't seem to open it. And it's a bunch of pieces. So, there's the main part that goes on. So this is the main one. And it will go on the rearview mirror. And from here, I will pick from the million pieces. Let's see, let's find one. I just saw one. Here it is. So then you would get this one, and then you would unscrew this, which we're just going to unscrew because this is the one I have to use. Oh, my wrist hurts. Just a little more. My eye is all blurry. Okay, so then you would twist, and the camera that I mostly use is on this tripod. So, this is one that's broke, like it's seen. The cat's legs not over. Okay, look, your legs not over. Like as you can see, like this never locks. This locks when it feels like it, and it's really tiny. And then this broke. It's been over a whole lot. Okay, and so you take this piece, and then on my camera. Okay, nope. Try this again. Uh-oh, that's gonna be an issue. Wait. Okay, I had the wrong one. Okay, and it's nice because, like, say this is pointing out my window. I don't need it to necessarily always look out the window. If I want to do a montage, like when we go to Portland, I can do it, but I like the fact that you can unscrew it, and then this one screws, so now it's facing, ouch, this way. So then I need to adjust this one and get the right one in. I didn't think about one screw being smaller than the other. Looks like a, oops. So, put it in here, and it holds. This rolls, and then this can spin. You can adjust this, but it needs to spin more. And then this will just hook on to, and that should be long enough. I'll take you with me when I go to put it on, because I'd like to film in the car. And hold on one second. Because nowadays I've been in it more. They took $900 more than they should have. Sorry. I wanted to be able to tell Anthony, and just in case it wasn't child support, I wanted to have proof. Oh, at least I know that they have to give it back after they take what is actually owed. So what had happened is when he started to work, I'm going to take you off of this one because I have to head out. When he started working, they started taking it out, and then they were turning around and handing it right back to me. And I feel like they're going to take it out of this paycheck. Even though they're technically not owed it. But, oops, sorry you guys. But this is nice. And I can do it one-handed, but I was having trouble. Anyway, so it's not hit the system yet because they were telling us that it's typically is sent over in a balloon payment. It's not just ours. It's like ours and like a million others who got their stuff taken. And so I'm going to start my car. It's cold. It's like super duper cold. Okay. And so we have to wait for that to come in, and it hasn't hit the system from what I can see quite yet. And so until it hits the system, then they can't pay us the extra. So what had happened was, that's the story I was trying to tell you, but I forgot. He owed 24, started working. It all came right back to me except for, I think I told you guys in the past, $18 or something one time. And they took like $243. I got $204. They kept the other. Something like that. Anyway, so what they took out, and that was 3 payments ago. The last 2 payments, because I applied to have it stopped because I didn't know it would start up, considering we're married and we're not getting any help through the state, that it wouldn't have a situation like that. Well, that I was assuming wrong. So we honestly thought that they were taking it out to pay his back payments, which is, at the time, was $24 in October. I had been paying on it, They really don't care if you're paying on it. If you have back, they're going to take it at your tax time. Okay, fine and dandy. So they're taking it out. It takes a really long time for it to show in the system that they took it out. Even though you can see the payment, the total amount due wasn't matching up. It wasn't going down. So it finally goes down and it sits at 19, whatever that just said. Well, because I petitioned to have it stopped in December, and we were awarded by a judge that yes, and it would be reduced down. Well, he had paid enough to get it down to the 19. He had paid enough coming out of his checks to get it down to 19. So then in turn, all of the payments that were paid between when I petitioned into when the judge ordered it and it was taken effect, because there was probably a good month between the judge signing off and it actually going into judgment. So we got it down to 19. There was another $900 taken, and so he got that credited after we filed our taxes. Okay, no big deal. Well, I thought they were going to go off of what he actually owed, which was $1,074 and some change. They went by what had been there beforehand. And so it seems like, you know how like you send your payment to a company and they send you a late notice, and it says, right on it, ignore this if you've already sent your payment. I think that's what happened. But it's good to know because last time I called this number, I guess I hit the wrong button. So this time I was like, well, last time I hit 0 or 1. So this time I will hit 2. 2 found 1. I was like, yes. So they took the 19. I was going to check my social security number also, but I don't have to because what they just spouted off is the amount that was taken. So we need to wait for child support to get the 19, to take the 1,000 off, to send us the payment. But they are really good about turning around and sending a check within days. It just has to get there.